Part 48 of Don't Say Schwarzenegger. In this part, I'm going to be covering the 5th probation violation of one or more of the defendants in our case and providing photo and video evidence. Also, just a little heads up on this one. It's going to be 1 or 2 parts, I'm not sure yet, but it's not for kids. After the evidence of the probation violation came into my possession and the defendants were aware that it was in my possession, I was immediately paid a visit to my home in the middle of the night that night, and something happened, and then a few days later something even worse happened, and there began the blackmail of a schmex tape. No, I've never made one consensually. So, okay, let's go. Okay, so it's November 21st, 2019. It's Thursday night around 10 p.m. And this guy that I had just kind of started dating, we dated for like a few months, and he reached out and said, there's this beautiful new hotel in West Hollywood and it's got a beautiful rooftop. Do you want to try to see if you can handle going there? And if you're not comfortable, we can leave at any point. And I was like, okay, I'll try. So I got a little dressed up and we went. And when we walked in, it's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. When you walk in, it's just like really high ceilings and there's some couches and a pool table. And then to the right is the bar and like the lobby bar. And there was nobody in the whole place except for like 25 people, like kind of smushed in like sardines right at the bar. So we go over there and I'm like feeling comfortable. I'm like, okay, I can do this. And we kind of squeeze through this little crowd of people, and I'm got my back literally touching the bar, kind of scanning people and stuff. And the guy I'm with is ordering our cocktails. And at that moment, we haven't even been there 3 minutes, I look past the crowd of people and I can see one of the Driz twins about 25 feet away from me. He had clearly just gotten there too, and he was putting his coat and his scarf down on a chair, and then he was putting 2 glasses of whiskey on the pool table. I found out later from the bartender it was whiskey. So I lose it. I immediately tapped my guy and I was like, we need to get out of here. The Driz twin is right there. And he's like, okay, oh my God. He's like, let me pay the tab. Give me 2 seconds. As he's saying that, I look over his shoulder, and sitting at the bar, not 5 feet past him, is the other Driz twin. And he's signing a tab with a glass of whiskey in his hand as well. So I point him out and I just start shaking. And so my guy's like, you know what? Just go wait in the valet. I got this. Get out of here. I know. We're good. And I was like, okay. So I get low and I'm like trying to squeeze through the crowd to get to the front door, and I stopped dead in my tracks because I realized, wait a second, the DA told us that we don't even need a breathalyzer or whatever they're in possession of to be handed over to the courts to put them in prison. We just need a photo because they're convicted, so you don't need as much evidence. So I turned around, I whipped out my camera, and I'm like kind of hiding behind some people, whipped out my camera, and I took a video of one of the Driz twins with his 2 whiskeys inside a bar, which is illegal in felony probation. So here it is. There it is. Not 1, but 2 cocktails. Okay, so I get the video, and I told the guy I was with that I was taking the video, and he knew why. He knew about all this stuff. So I get the video, and it's cold in November in LA, for LA, whatever. So I had like a big jacket and a scarf around my neck. So I take the scarf and I wrap it around my whole head so that only my eyes are showing, and I just start sprinting out because I didn't want them to see me. I run out the front doors, I'm in the valet, and I look to my left and I see Sean Driz in the smoking section, like 20 feet away from me. So thank God, I'm like wrapped my whole head, and I'm like, oh my God. And I just run the other way and I just start sprinting down Sunset Boulevard. And I got maybe a few blocks away, and then I turned into an alley and just like collapsed on the ground. And I text the guy, like, where are you? I just saw the 3rd Driz outside, so I'm I had to run. I'm a few blocks away, like, here's my location. So he's texting me. He's like, okay, so I got my thing signed out. I still got to get my car. He goes, however, before I left, I thought I'd help you out. And I took a couple photos of them too. And I think they saw me. Well, you'll see the photos. He's like, I think they saw me because the second they saw me, he was pretending to try to take a picture of like the light fixtures or something because they're like beautiful there. The Drizzes saw him. They dropped their drinks and they sprinted full speed out of the hotel and into the valet. Here's the photos he took. Here's the first one he took of Maurice and Alberto Driz standing with their cocktails. And here's the second photo he took. Look how angry this Driz is. That was like a second before they dropped their full cocktails and sprinted full speed out the door and got a car to pick them up and leave. Okay, so that's what happened. I told the guy, I'm in the car with him, and I was like, date's over. Can you drop me off at my brother's house because I have to show him this evidence and we have to talk about what we're going to do this next week with the DA's office about this. This is such a big deal. Oh my God. Like, what are the chances, like, the one time I go out and this happens in the first 3 minutes? Like, wow, sign from the universe, all that stuff I'm thinking. And so he drops me off at my brother's, and I go to my brother's for maybe a couple hours, and we're just talking about everything. And it's probably, by the time I got home that night, it was around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And when I got home, now I'm gonna do the rest of this in the next part, but I'll just kind of set it up for you. When I got home, at the time, I was renting a 1-bedroom in a house on a very private, gated street with only 8 homes on it. So we know who's in and out on the street, like nobody's ever there, you know. But like, you know who's in the street, who gets past the gate and whatever. So I get home, it's 1 a.m., my car is sitting there totally fine, and I'm like, oh, okay, I go to bed. And yeah, I guess I'll just cover what happened the next time I came out of my house and what happened that night in the next part. I'm gonna talk about retaliation and intimidation. It's just the beginning. Thanks, guys.